I think I've had, well, never mind the cat in the background, but I've had a couple of guys, both in YouTube comments but also on Discord, kind of asking me for, I guess, general tips and tricks for destroyers. Not necessarily like the kind of super advanced stuff like using your modules to tank damage or exploiting ranges or stuff like that, but just like kind of general um, positioning, spotting, that sort of thing. So I'm trying to make a video on that. This is like try number 3 today, but um, yeah, I'm just trying to get a fucking video, and teams and games and has not been on my side today. The previous 2 games that I've played, both lasted about 7-8 minutes each, which is kind of pathetic, but also kind of impressive in like a really stupid way. So first thing is I'm not running an ideal build on this ship. This is my clan battles captain, hence why I run RPF on here. As far as randoms go, I will always advise against RPF, like just in every scenario possible. But the reason I'm running it here is because I couldn't be bothered to respec my clan battle captain, so we're just gonna run with it. The first thing for destroyers, especially torpedo boat destroyers, it'll vary from nation to nation, but for your typical destroyer, which is stay concealed, sling torpedoes, or farm from smoke when applicable, uh, your your best position would be anywhere where you can both A, maintain spotting for your team, and B, your torpedoes create a crossfire. And what I mean by that is you want to be in a position where the enemy is forced to angle to your team, but you are being able to throw torpedoes at their broadsides. So imagine there's a ship trying to hug this island right here, and he's wanting to angle to my battleships who were, say, up here. I'm just gonna throw some Make-A-Wish torps out real quick, though. Never mind the cat in the background, but, if there's someone hugging this island right here, my ideal position would be somewhere around here, as long as I'm in a route where I can escape if I have to. My ideal position would be right around down here, because whatever's hugging this island here is going to want to be angled to my team that's north of the cap. So in doing that and putting myself in this southern position, I effectively put them into a situation where they're forced to angle either to my torpedoes or to my team, but they can't angle to both. And that is what your best torpedo... Oh my fucking god, Mosfa. How the fuck am I supposed to support you back there? But, that is... I mean, that's not always going to be possible. Sometimes, like in this instance, your team is just going to be kiting away at like fucking, what is that, 20 something, 20 plus kilometers. So, your typical random game, but that's your ideal position, and I would try and be a little bit more aggressive here to try and get a better angle on this Sean Bart, but because my team is hanging so far back, because they're British battleships, that's what they fucking do, if I had to check a destroyer, he'll have much more immediate support, whereas I will not. So that's why I'm kind of sticking to the route I am. Kind of want to... Considered shooting there, but we'll be okay. I don't think those are going to really go anywhere. And of course, we have 3 DDs in A that have, and we haven't capped it yet, so, you know, that's beautiful. Let's see. No, those aren't going to go anywhere. That's unlucky. Jean Bart's full sending it. Oh, I did manage to hit that Iowa with 2 of them. That's actually kind of funny. Hope, is that Clashworth's gonna walk in? Maybe, question mark? That Mosfani? No. Okay. Here ought to be a kind of a decent example, as long as I don't get spotted. I'm expecting this Jean Bart is going to try and hug this island. He's going to try and go right to here. So I'm going to be trying to torpedo in a position to block that off. And so far, it's looking decent. Although I do not want to be spotted. That would not be fortunate. Yep, that should be a dead Jean Bart. Let's see. Thunderer's firing HE because reasons. It's a Thunderer, so of course. I want to try and get some shots in on this, I don't even know how that's supposed to be said. You know how to say that still? No? Okay. I'm just gonna sit here and farm. Okay, never mind. There is a Moskva right there. Did that Moskva already burn his radar? I guess he did? But I don't know how I didn't get radared there, but I guess I won't complain. This is kind of a shitty game to demonstrate what I want, because these guys are mostly just going to be kiting away, because, you know, randoms, so whatever. Is that a Thunder gonna? Looks like he is. That ought to be pretty funny. That Moskva might end up eating those too as well. I won't complain if he does. So, to recap on what I said about the Jean Bart though, in case it wasn't clear, when I saw that Jean Bart was just straight up full sending it, I was expecting he was going to try and ram his head into this island there, and that is what I fired my torps in order to cut that off. So that's kind of why I aimed more towards the island instead of anticipating that he would just charge forward, which I think he did charge forward a bit after he saw the initial like the initial torpedo spread, he tried to full send it even more, but he didn't end up being able to accelerate in time. So that's what that was. And like I said, this is a bit of a game to kind of demonstrate what I wanted to explain, which is how to set up crossfires. This particular map, just as a whole, is pretty shit for that, because in the majority of cases, the only crossfires you're going to be getting are going to be coming from middle. And because I spawned all the way over here on A, that's a bit of a non-option. So, which is annoying, but whatever. Did end up getting a decent, an okay-ish amount of damage, though. Moskva is just kiting, Thundermer's just kiting, because, you know, they're battleships. That Moskva just got a close quarters expert on a fucking, Humphreys. Ain't that right, Stu? Yeah, that's right. Stu is doing his, just his cat thing. Just as cats do. Yeah. That's right, Stu. I'm talking about you. Yeah. Gotta love cats. I wonder if that does that Moskva have... Here's another thing that I'm looking at. So your minimap has this cone for your field of view. Do you see that as I move that sort of cone moves? That's my field of view. And all of these ships have a line that's pointing directly ahead of them. That line points directly ahead of their ship. What the fuck is this guy talking about? But, what I'm looking at is to figure out if those torps are going to have range or not. Instead of looking at the cone, or the circle of my maximum torpedo range, I'm looking at the, gray line, at the projected, path, and when I look down that line, does the point of intersection between this line in the middle of my cone, the center of where I'm looking, is that line, this intersection between the two lines, rather, do they meet inside of my, torpedo range? Because if yes, then yes, those torpedoes will have the range to hit. So that's kind of how I figured that out. And that Moskva ended up just turning away anyway, so, you know, whatever. It would be kind of funny if he still eats those torps regardless, though. Annapolis should be dying. Pfft, nice. So, yeah, this wasn't a great game to kind of demonstrate exactly what I wanted. I got to explain it, but I didn't really get to demonstrate it that well, just because of where I spawned and the nature of randoms. Which is unfortunate, but like that Rigolo game from earlier, a few days ago, I did get to at least explain what I wanted to. And also, this Moskva's about to get clapped by the Thundermer. No. Oh, yeah, never mind. Well, that just happened. So, the rest of this game's about to play out. Whatever happens first, either the game's about to tick out from points, or we're going to find that Thundermer and farm him down. Whichever happens first, but that's a little bit of at least a guideline. Obviously, like, that's not always going to be possible. Sometimes there's just going to be too much radar, too many enemy destroyers to deal with, or some other myriad of bullshittery, but or you'll get a game where the enemy team just literally just straight up runs away from you all game. You get those a lot in randoms. And that's also one of the primary reasons why gunboats tend to be a lot more consistent than torpedo boats. But that's just a sort of guideline. Your best positions would be in a spot where you're both able to maintain spotting as well as put some kind of pressure on the enemy. Not just through spotting, but either through cap circles or through torpedo threats. You want to be able to do more than just one thing at a time. Because the more pressure you put on the enemy, the more you force their hand to make a move, or either to make a play for a cap, like that Jean Bart who just full sended it, or you use your torpedoes to force the enemy to turn broadside to your team or eat a bunch of torpedoes. And torpedoes, by the way, do not have to kill in order to do their job, because in addition to just making them turn broadside to your team, they also will force DCPs through floods, engine damage, rudder damage, something like that, especially if you land multiple hits. They'll force a heal sometimes. They might even proc a special captain, like Kuznetsov in particular, or as I call him, Kruchnetsov. But that's kind of all I have for this particular game. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, god damn, I'm treating this like a replay review. Which, by the way, I do those, by the way. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know, and I will see you tomorrow.